Hi guys, today I want to talk to you about broken access control. So here on my computer, I'm on Burp. I go to the Intercept tab, click on Open Browser to open Burp's built-in Chromium. I'm going to navigate to this app that I have running on my localhost. I'm going to create another user called user T at gmail.com. Okay, so let me examine what can I do. I can add a credit card or log out. Let me see how does that work. I'm gonna add a credit card that is all ones. Interesting. I can edit it. I can add a few T's at the end. It doesn't check if it's a real credit card number. Interesting. And I can also delete it. Okay, so let me try to understand what's going on behind the scenes. So when I click on add credit card, I'm gonna add a number. I'm gonna go to Burp and turn intercept on. Add credit card, you can see the Burp intercepted the request. Now let me see what's going on. So I'm sending a post request to this endpoint, and I'm sending an object containing the credit card number and the username. Interesting. Forward the request, intercept off. Let me see what happens when I edit credit card. Go back to Burp, turn intercept on, send the request. Okay, so now I'm sending a GET request to this endpoint, and I'm sending on the query of the request, I'm sending the ID of the credit card and the new number. Interesting. Now, if I delete it, let's see, how does that work? If I delete it, okay, so I'm sending a post request to delete, and I'm sending the ID of the credit card that I want to delete on the request of query. Ah, great, fantastic. Forward, percent off. Interesting. So I want to simulate something. Let me create a credit card. Awesome. So I'm user T. I'm going to open an incognito window, navigate to the same app. I'm going to create another user called user F at gmail.com. Here I'm going to add a credit card. Great. So I have a credit card for user F and another credit card for user T. Now, let me turn intercept on. Okay, I'm on user T. Let me try to edit a credit card. Update. The request was intercepted. Okay, so I'm sending a GET request, and on the query of the request, I'm sending an ID. If I can tamper this parameter, and from user T, a request that was sent by user T, if I can make change on a record, if I can change a record on user F, that's broken access control. So I see that user F has one credit card with ID 42. So if on birth, I change the ID from 41 to 42 and forward the request, if the backend doesn't check if whoever's sending the request to change a record owns that record, then any user can perform any action on behalf of any other user, and that's broken access control. So let's see. User T, if I go to user F, I could change his credit card. Interesting. Now I'm on user F. Okay. On behalf of user F, I'm gonna delete this credit card with ID 42. Let me go to Burp. Okay, I'm gonna delete the credit card with ID 42, but Let me see. Okay, user T has a greater ID 41. So let me change it. If one user can delete someone else's credit card, that's also like, that's insane. That's horrible. Yeah, it happened. So I could delete someone else's credit card. And again, that's broken access control. Essentially, what's going on? The backend has to check who's making the request. It has to check like through the JWT token, the session token. Somehow it has to check who's making the request. And then it has to see if whoever's making the request is trying to reach to someone else's record. And if it happens, then the backend has to prevent that user from doing so. Okay, so go to the store now. And I see a bunch of electronics for sale. Check the details of this specific one. I want to see happy customers. Okay, so I see that the following customers approved this product: Robert, Victor. Great. Now let me try to inspect to see what's going on when I click on this button. I make a request and I get someone's email address and the rating that they gave to this specific product. But if I further go to the request on the network tab, I can see that I get the username, the rating, and the credit card number. So what's going on here? The developers, they thought it would be a great idea to just send all of the data related to that user and filter it on the front end instead of using a DTO. Horrible idea. The front end is not part of your security framework. You should never send data and filter it on the front end because it can be intercepted and the whole data can be seen either on the network tab or on Burp Suite. So no, you should always use DTOs to send only the information that you want the user to be able to see. Like if there's any data that you don't want the end user to see, then just don't send it. Interesting. So let me go back to my home page and user T, I'm gonna log out. I want to see how my cookies are created. So let me log in with user T at gmail.com. Log in. Okay, I didn't have this cookie before. He was created right now. Is admin. What an interesting name. And have a value. So let me see. So that's what I see. Go to the developer tools again. Location is admin. And this interesting value that I believe it's base 64. So I'm going to go to verbs decoder. I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to decode it as base 64. And I got a false. What if I change it to true? And encode it as base 64. Interesting. Copy it. Go to do what I logged in. I'm gonna change it from false to true. Enter, close it. Now if I refresh my page, I have the option of going to the admin panel. And I have a flag. So another kind of broken access control would be just to have like cookies that are critical to the security functionality of your app, just to be like exposed to the user, and the user can just change your cookies. So like, don't rely on cookies for those kinds of functionalities. And also, those cookies are so crucial and important. They should not be base 64 encoded. They should be encrypted.